Hello everyone, today we'll discuss about calcium homeostasis. Starting with calcium metabolism. Importance of calcium. Calcium is required for neuronal activity. Calcium plays an important role in the membrane stabilization and it is also required for transmission of nerve impulse. Calcium is also important for skeletal muscle activity. Calcium interacts with troponin C and it triggers muscle contraction. Calcium also activates ATPase and it increases interaction between actin and myosin filaments. For cardiac activity also calcium ions are important. Calcium ions they prolong systole. And for smooth muscle activity also calcium ions they play an important role. Calcium ions are also required for secretory activity of various glands. They are required for excitation and secretion process and release of hormones from endocrine glands. Mainly insulin, parathyroid hormone and calcitonin release is by calcium mediated action. Calcium ions are also required for activation of enzymes. They are required for direct activation of lipase, ATPase and succinate dehydrogenase. Calcium binds with calmodulin and calcium calmodulin complex. It activates various enzymes. For example, adenyl L-cyclase and calcium dependent protein kinases. Calcium ions are also act as second messenger and they are important for the intracellular action of certain hormones. For blood coagulation also calcium ions are required, as calcium ions are one of the clotting factor and they are also required for activation of clotting enzymes and enzymes involved in the inflammatory processes. For bone and teeth formation, calcium along with phosphorus are required. In bone, they form hydroxyapatite crystals and they provide physical strength to the bone, and bone also act as a reservoir for the calcium. So let us repeat importance of calcium. First, that is for neuronal activity. Second, skeletal muscle activity. Third, cardiac activity, smooth muscle activity. Fifth, secretory activity of glands. Sixth, activation of various enzymes. Seventh, calcium calmodulin complex that activates various enzymes. 8, calcium ions they act as second messenger. 9, for blood coagulation. 10th, for bone and teeth formation. Now, normal value of calcium, that is about 1100 grams, from which 99% of calcium that is in stable form, and it represents the calcium pool that is not readily exchangeable. It is non-exchangeable pool, and this calcium can be mobilized only by the action of parathyroid hormone. And second variety, that is exchangeable pool, that is only 1%. And here this exchangeable pool is present in the plasma. So there are two types of exchange takes place between blood and bones. One, that is rapid exchange, that is between extracellular fluid and exchangeable calcium ion, that is 1%. And second is slow exchange between extracellular fluid and stable calcium, that is in bones, and it is 99%. Now, blood calcium concentration, that is 9 to 11 milligram per deciliter, that is normal calcium concentration. Now, types of calcium. They are in three forms. Number one, that is ionized form, which is also known as diffusible calcium. You can see it is about 50% of total calcium present. This is physiologically active and level of this calcium depends on calcium absorption from digestive tract. Non-ionized, or it is non-diffusible, you can see here that is only 8 to 10%. This is the calcium with bound form of calcium with the bicarbonate, phosphate and citrate ions, and this is physiologically inactive. And third one, that is 41 to 42%, which is bound form with the albumin, that is also physiologically inactive, and its concentration decreases when plasma albumin level decreases, like in nephrosis. Now, regulation of blood calcium level. Normal intake of calcium, that is in adult about 1000 milligram, as well as 600 milligram calcium comes from secretion, from which 350 milligram per day, that is intake, plus 250 milligram per day which enters through intestine, all that is absorbed and remaining is excreted. So excretion is 900 milligram that is excreted in the feces and 100 milligram that is excreted in the urine. Now, various hormones they regulate blood calcium level. They are parathyroid hormone, 1,25-dihydroxycholecalciferol and calcitonin. Now, various factors they affect calcium absorption. Factors that increase calcium absorption are acidity of stomach, that increases absorption, bile salts and bile acid because they increase solubility of calcium salts, hypocalcemia which is produced during pregnancy, lactation as well as when we decrease the intake. This hypocalcemia also increases the absorption of calcium. Vitamin D also increases calcium absorption, parathyroid hormone, growth hormone and high protein diet, they all increase calcium absorption. Factors that decrease calcium absorption, they are alkalinity, decrease in the bile salts and bile acid because there is presence of unabsorbed fatty acids which forms insoluble calcium soap that is not been absorbed. Hypercalcemia decreases calcium absorption. Phosphate oxalates, they form insoluble salts, and increase in the organic phosphates, they also decrease calcium absorption. Now, hormonal regulation of plasma calcium level. They are calciotropic hormones as we have discussed, parathyroid hormone, active form of vitamin D, 1,25-dihydroxycholecalciferol and calcitonin. Now, another hormone or another factor that regulates calcium level, that is parathyroid hormone related protein, that is PTHR, and that acts, this parathyroid hormone related protein that acts on the parathyroid hormone receptors. Other hormones like growth hormone and growth factors, they stimulate bone deposition, whereas sex steroids, they inhibit bone resorption, and glucocorticoids, they stimulate bone resorption. So you can see here, parathyroid hormone increases blood calcium level, whereas calcitonin decreases blood calcium level. 1,25-dihydroxycholecalciferol increases blood calcium level mainly by increasing absorption. Growth hormone increases blood calcium level and glucocorticoids decrease. Growth hormone increases blood calcium level and glucocorticoids, they decrease blood calcium level. Next is phosphate metabolism. Phosphate is present mainly in the form of ATP, cyclic AMP and 2,3-diphosphoglycerate. Total body phosphate, that is inorganic phosphorus, which is present in 500 to 800 grams, from which 80 to 85% present in the bones and 14 to 15% that is present inside the cell, that is intracellular phosphate. In the muscles and bones, 7 to 10% that is present associated with the proteins, carbohydrates and lipids, and 7 to 10% that is present in the chemical compounds, which is widely distributed in the body. Inorganic phosphate in adults, that is 2.5 to 4 mg per deciliter, whereas in children that is 5 to 6 mg per deciliter. Now, what are the functions of phosphate? It provides rigidity to the bones and teeth. It regulates pH of blood and urine. It is important for regulation of glycolysis and energy metabolism. Also, it forms a part of certain organic molecules like DNA, RNA, phospholipid, nucleotides, etc. Also, it forms a part of high energy transfer and storage compounds like ATP, GTP, creatine phosphate, etc. Acts as a cofactor like NADP and thymine pyrophosphate. Acts as second messenger like in cyclic AMP and inositol triphosphate. Now, what is the relation between plasma calcium and phosphate level? Serum calcium level, it varies inversely with the serum inorganic phosphate level, and the product of calcium and phosphate, that is known as solubility product. So, when calcium increases, phosphate, inorganic phosphate decreases, so the product remains constant. In rickets, calcium absorption as well as phosphate absorption is also reduced, and therefore the solubility product decreases. Calcium phosphorus ratio in the bones, that is 1.7:1. Now, what happens when plasma phosphate level decreases? That results in decrease in the 2,3-DPG as well as ATP concentration. When 2,3-DPG decreases, there is shift of oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve to the left, and therefore decreased release of oxygen from hemoglobin to the tissue. So, this is all about calcium and phosphate metabolism. Thank you.